the people are watching, the people know, the people feel what is going on, kung yung peace and order natin, yung economy natin, alam naman ng tao yan, hindi naman kailangan pasabihan pa tayo kung what is that actually happening. So, para sa akin, mahirap ang kalagayan ng presidente ngayon kasi he cannot evade what is truly happening to the country.
So hindi rin pala basta-basta ito, attorney, at dapat na tutukan din ito ng ating mga kababayan dahil maaaring dito malaman natin kung ang Pangulo ba ay nagsisinungaling o hindi. Kasi kung iba yung kanyang sinasabi sa nararamdaman ng ating mga kababayan, abay may problema po doon.
Yun nga, yung connection at saka yung disconnection. Kaya nga, alam naman nyo yan yung sa messaging ba. Kasi kahit na how you're going to package the product, kung ang product talaga ay stereotype na sa tao, yung may judgment ng tao, yan ang mahirap talaga. So, the people, to me, the people are watching, the people know, the people feel what is going on, kung yung peace and order natin, yung economy natin, alam naman ng tao yan, hindi naman kailangan pasabihan pa tayo kung what is that actually happening. So, para sa akin, mahirap ang kalagayan ng presidente ngayon kasi he cannot evade what is truly happening to the country. What is happening to our country, sir? Yun, di ba? Yun yung tanong ni the late Vice President Emmanuel Pelaez. Yung binisita siya ng isang general after he was assassinated. What is happening to our country, sir? At the time, yung tanong na yan ay medyo, may point yun kasi the people were not aware of what was really happening to our country dahil yung aparatos ng information ay kontrolado. Pero ngayon, alam na ng tao. Nakita naman natin talaga yung pangyayari, yung mga political judgment ng mga tao. Alam na yan. So, the people are now the judge.
Opo. Bukal, attorney, dito naman po tayo sa role ng Vice President. Ano bang nakasaad sa konstitusyon? Kasi nung bumisita ang pangalawang Pangulo sa Australia, ay nagtanong itong si Yusek Claire Castro kung ito ba'y personal o para sa bayan ba yan o personal. Parang iginigit nila na laging nasa labas ng bansa, dapat magtrabaho, dapat asahan ng mga kababayan natin. Pero ano po ba yung role ng isang vice-presidente? Kasi kung makapaningil sila, parang ang sinisingil po nila sa trabaho ni VP Sara, para pang presidente. Hindi pa naman presidente si VP Sara, attorney.
Yun nga, under the Constitution, ang role ng Vice President ay parang spare tire lang yan Naghihintay lamang yan kung ano mangyayari sa President. Wala siyang specific na constitutional duty. The Vice President may be appointed to the cabinet. In fact, yung kanyang appointment, hindi na kailangan ng confirmation ng Commission on Appointments. Pero kung hindi siya binigyan ng cabinet post, so wala siyang actual na yung specific duties na naka-enshrine under the Constitution. Of course, may office na Vice President siya. Ang problema naman ay yung budget niya ay talagang insulting talaga. Hindi na yan nangyari sa isang Vice President. So part ng political demolition yan. So practically, yung budget niya ay parang, I don't know how she religiously and trying to use it in a manner na makafunction pa rin yung kanyang opisina. Now, yung trip naman niya, hindi naman talaga natin mapigil yan dahil meron siyang duty as a daughter to a father who is a victim of injustice. Saka yung father niya, hindi naman ordinaryo, isang dating presidente na naharap sa isang kaso na karamihan sa atin ay naniwala na hindi naman siya sada deserving to be treated like as such. Kasi doon nga, may mga, yan naman talaga, it's a matter of record na hindi naman talaga tayo sana membro ng ICC at saka yung ating korte kung meron man sanang violation siya, kung may nagawa man siyang krimen, our courts are functioning well. Dapat part ng ating exercise of sovereignty, dapat dito yan sana yung charge at saka yung may trial ba, dito sana niya harapin. Pero ang masakit ay parang dinala siya doon, parang itinulak, fact it's being described as kidnapping or extraordinary rendition na hindi mangyari yun kung walang cooperation ng ating present government. Yun ang part yun din ng kanyang advocacy, part ng kanyang quest for justice, not only as a daughter but a representative of a large segment, in fact, super majority of our Filipino people, kasi yung ating dating presidente ay nag-exit siya with a highest approval rating ever recorded by a exiting president. So, she is representing that voice. Hindi naman pwede kasama yan ang aspiration ng mga Filipino people, a large segment of the population na parang searching for justice. So, hindi pwedeng parang i-deprive mo ang Vice President sa kaniyang sa ganong klaseng advocacy, sa ganong klaseng advocacy at saka yung trabaho. Tayo nga, mga media, pupunta ka doon, mga ibang tao na wala namang connection sa dating presidente by blood or by friendship, wala. Ang sa kanila ay kusang loob lang. They went as far as Netherlands, The Hague, spending their own money just to express their solidarity, their disgust, their condemnation. So how much more for a vice president, a daughter and a vice president na hindi maka-feel na ganun na klaseng feelings. So para sa akin, wala siyang na-violate na kahit anong precepts, anong mga principles, anong mga expectations. Kasi kung hindi niya gawin yan, mas lalo siyang there is going to be a question over being a daughter kung hindi niya ang ginagawa niya ngayon.
Opo.
Ang ibang tao nga ang nagnanais man ng justisya, how much more for a daughter. So dapat yan ang gawin for a daughter na hindi lamang nagmamahal sa kanyang ama, kundi nirepresent niya ang aspirations ng mga tao, karamihan ng mga Pilipinos.
Opo, at sa sagot nga niya sa tanong doon sa sinabi ni Undersecretary Castro kung pampersonal ba o pambayan ang kanyang biyahe sa Australia. Ang sagot naman dito ng Pangalawang Pangulo, I do not like traveling at all except for holidays, and clearly, I'm not on holiday for this trip. I am here to discuss with the Filipino community on ways forward for our country and of course how we can push the administration to do more for our country. And the Philippine government should not discount the contributions of the Filipino communities worldwide because first, they've been sending dollars, millions and billions of dollars to the country. And second, they have the experience that people like us who have not worked, have not lived abroad, they have that experience. So they know the best practices around the world. So it's good to sit down and discuss with them. At maliban dito, nagpa-function naman po doon sa mga sinasabi na pwede siyang gumawa ng mga programa sa kanyang opisina makikita naman natin, nagpa-function naman po, attorney, and at the same time, humiling nga siya nitong nakalipas na para sa budget, no? Nadagdagan yung budget para mas marami pa siyang programa na magawa, mabuo. Di naman siya pinagbigyan ng yung kanyang hiling na budget, attorney.
Yung sa 2025.
Opo.
Yun nga, that's a matter of record. Ngayon kasi, Admar, alam mo naman, politika talaga ito. Part ng yung political warfare ba? So, hindi naman natin, we will not be surprised of this kind of political, parang engagement, or we cannot discount with that. We can't avoid with that. So, the Vice President is she's very smart in addressing these questions. At saka maganda naman po sagot niya. Totoo nga. Kasi alam mo naman, yung mga OFW natin ay malaking biggest contributors yan sa ating economy. So, magandang sagot din yan. So, the Vice President is so smart in answering all of these concerns.
Opo, bago lang ulit si partner Jade, attorney. Meron din pong napansin ng Pangalawang Pangulo at napapansin din ito ng ating mga kababayan, yung nagiging pabago-bago na mga pahayag, no? Statement ng ni Marcos Jr. At nabanggit niya dito sa tanong kaugnay sa pabago-bago na mga pahayag ng Pangulo. Ang sabi nga niya dito, nung tinanong siya ng media, I am happy that you have observed that behavior of the President. He gives conflicting statements thoroughly the very first day of his administration. In fact, he has not followed through within any of his campaign promises. And that is an example of conflicts with regard to our President. And well, budol in English is scam. Well, we are not surprised. He has the hallmark of a scammer. Ano masasabi niyo po dito sa naging pahayag na ito, Attorney, ni VP Sara?
Sa principle of law pa yan, res ipsa loquitur, the thing speaks for itself. Yan yung a matter of record yan, Sir Admar.
Opo.
A matter of record yan kasi may mga historical evidence talaga tayo kung how the President is changing his policies at saka yung flip-flopping on major issues. So, res ipsa loquitur. The thing speaks for itself. Yun lang masasabi ko.
Opo, attorney, at kaugnay nga po doon sa SONA nga ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. Ito bang pagkakahuli o pagkakasabat, no, ng mahigit 8 billion pesos na mga hinihinalang shabu na nasabat nga sa magkahiwalay na bahagi po ng karagatan dito sa ating bansa, na kung saan personal na inspeksyon, no, ani PBBM, ay may tuturing mo bang big accomplishment ng kasalukuyang administrasyon na possible na aasahan nating marinig din sa kanyang darating na SONA?
Of course, we can expect that it will be bannered as one of the accomplishments. Pero ang isang tanong diyan, kung may yung connection sa tao yan, more sulit din sa tao kasi kung ang mga tao are not safe in the streets, are not safe in their homes, iba naman yan. That's another perspective of how looking at the claim of accomplishment. So, dalawang perspektibo yan, Sir Admar o Sir Jade. Now, while it is true na meron kayong data o meron kayong numero about mga na-confiscate na mga drugs, pero ang tanong diyan kung ano ba ang nandiyan sa community? May drugs ba? Tao ay feel safe as compared as during the time of President Duterte, that's another question.
Baga, attorney, para po sa inyo, sa inyo, para po sa inyo, personally, believe ho ba kayo doon sa bloodless drug war ng Administrasyong Marcos Jr.?
Alam mo, I'm not objective in saying so, making a judgment kasi ang sa atin talaga, nakita man natin talaga yung nangyayari sa dating administrasyon. In fact, I made a story about the case of my brother-in-law whose family was destroyed. Naging kuan yun sa social media yun, naging viral yun. Yung one of his children ay nandito sa akin ngayon. Now their family was damaged kasi yung brother-in-law ko was hooked on drugs. Lahat ng yung family namin, ginastuhan na siya ng rehab. Kala ko, maayos na. Pagbalik sa community, ilang buwan lang, nag-relapse naman siya. So, talagang it was a very vicious cycle. Then, suddenly, dumating yung administration ni President Duterte, natakot without being rehabbed, natakot. Kasi yung mga kasamahan niya, many of them are already parang nadakip na, talagang wala na siyang contact. So, para sa amin, that was a personal experience na yung drug campaign ni President Duterte ay sa pamilya lang namin, talagang effective, pero damage na siya. Yung mga anak niya distributed na. One of the children, ito, inadapt ko, we treat him as a real son. He is now in high school at saka baka suswertihin maging one of the finest golfers ito in the Philippines kasi magaling maglaro ng golf. Kung ang ibig kong sabihin, this guy would have been a casualty of a ruined family kung wala yung time ni President Duterte. Kasi hindi yan mangyari mapunta sa amin kasi malayo sa amin at saka may denial yun. Yung talagang sinasabi ba yung the horror of a drug problem. Nangyari yan, nakita talaga namin personally. So, mahirap maghusga, Sir Jade, kasi I am too objective and subjective and biased.
Opo. Attorney, huli na lang. Kumbaga,
kasi my personal experience kami na talagang that drugs campaign waged by President Duterte really helped and saved a ruined and a damaged family.
Opo. Bilang isang ordinaryong Pilipino, attorney, sa perspective po ng isang Pilipino, mas ramdam ho ba ninyo, mas marami kayong nakikitang nagawa ng administrasyong Marcos ngayon? O mas marami ang hindi po ninyo nagustuhan?
Kayo na siguro magsabi niyan. sa kuan ba yan, that's a leading question.
Opo. Siguro, attorney, paalala muli, huling mensahe na lamang po ninyo para sa ating mga kababaeng nanonood po sa mga oras na ito.
Hindi, sa akin lang, sana palagi tayong magkinig sa SMNI kasi ito ay isang objective at saka truthful yung mga reporting nila. Ninyo pala. Balance at saka what you're espousing is the truth. The unvarnished truth. At saka parang balanse ito sa nakikita natin na biased na media, yung ibang mga mas yung mga traditional at saka mainstream media. So kayo parang balancer ba? So sana people will not tired of listening, viewing your program. Mabuhay kayo, SMNI.